Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Where's Your Heart? Championing vulnerability as a core human strength. Hello, everyone. As you can see, I am solo tonight. Royce is in Atlanta getting his education on and having some barbecue. Lucky man. So I am holding the reins down until he gets back, and he will be back next week for our Talk Back Live segment. So thank you for joining us tonight. We're going to have a very interesting show. Wow, I get to run everything all by myself. Okay, so before we get started into all of this, of course, I have to go through my whole spiel that I go through every week. As you know, we really push to grow our YouTube page. We really like people to see the show from YouTube. So while you are sitting down and getting comfortable for this show, please subscribe, like our show, subscribe, and click the notification button for updates. Let your friends know. Tell the people on the street. Share the wealth. Sharing is caring. And hello. Hi, Kelly. Thank you for tuning in tonight. Glad to have you. So usually around this time, we would be doing our gratitude segment, which I will get to. But I figured since everybody else is talking about it, because I frankly got a hoot out of it, was finding out about the whole Nicki Minaj ball scandal going on right now, of her sharing with the public that her cousin's friend took the vaccine and had a very unique side effect. I figured everybody else is talking about it, so why not me? I would say this. If you have suffered a side effect like that from taking the vaccine, you should let everybody know. Because there's people out there asking questions about it. It's something they should know, which makes me question if it was something else other than the vaccine. But hopefully that man's doing better. I just love that the president of Trinidad had to get on and explain that wasn't the case. That wasn't an actual side effect. That was hilarious. So that was good times had by all this week. So for gratitude this week is so weird. I don't have Royce here to haggle to go first to do so. So for my gratitude this week, I think I'm going to go with allergy medicine. Obviously, we've been dealing with a lot of fires in throughout the country, and it seems like we just seem to be on a jet stream here in New Mexico that picks up everything. So it's been really difficult for me with my allergies, and my allergies have actually converted into a head cold, which I got over. So, but I have to say my medications have helped out well for me to continue working, because being a mom and having a business does not stop when you get sick. So thank you, medications, and all my doctors that give them to me. All right. Oh, my goodness. So tonight is a different episode. We're actually going to have, for the first time ever, teenagers as our headliners for this show. So it's, I think sometimes when we grow to be adults, we kind of lose that whimsy of remembering what it was like to be a kid, and always ends up using that phrase, because I said so. When you promise yourself, you never use that phrase. So we're gonna take a look and talk to some teenagers and see what it's like being a teen nowadays. So we're gonna have fun with that. And in fact, I think we might as well just go ahead and jump right in to this week's topic. So, as I said, we're have teenagers on for this week, which is a new thing for us. We like to cover all different kinds of topics, but it's something to be said when you're hearing from the younger generation, because that's not us. So we thought we would take this opportunity to pick the brains of some youth and see what it's like living in this day and age, especially during this day and age, dealing with the pandemic while going to school, other issues. We figure we dive into that and start talking about it tonight. So two friends of mine are really great to, pretty much throw their sons in to come on the show tonight and have this discussion. So I'm excited to have our guest this evening. And first up is Aiden No. He is 14 years old, but could easily pass the 17, which seems to be the story about every teen when it comes to nowadays. He's already 6'2". He's a freshman at Volcano Vista High School and a child of divorce. He plays basketball, loves hip hop, drawing, watching anime, and movies. He also loves chicken wings. And I'm going to bring his page up, but he is not on yet. But he'll be here soon. Our second guest is we're going to go with Zay. Zay is his first name. He's a 15-year-old sophomore from Albuquerque. He just recently moved back from Atlanta to live with his dad, who you all have seen on the show before, Steph Darnell, who's a stand-up comedian here in town. So let's go ahead and bring on Zay. Yo. Hey, Zay, how you doing?
Good.
So we're going to wait. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start picking your brain first because I'm not sure where Aiden went. But thank you. Thank you for coming on tonight. So you're 15 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. 15. And yeah, so you just came back from Atlanta and to live with your dad. So is it kind of, I've never been to Atlanta. Heard it's a really cool city. What's it like moving from there and now taking up residence in Albuquerque?
I don't know. It's a lot, like culture change and all.
Mm-hmm.
I think the biggest one for me is like where the black people at. Like I can't find none.
I feel you so much on that one. So, I'm gonna pick on your dad a little bit. What is it like living with the man we know as Seth Darnell?
Oh, nah, he cool. I mean, I do my stuff, he do his stuff. Like I be out the house half the time though, so I don't really be seeing him that much.
So you're an active kid. You got your own.
Got my friends. I'm just always gone.
So what do you normally do for fun?
Usually, you probably find me at a basketball court. If you don't see me at a basketball court, I'm probably asleep. I'm eating, or you feel me? Watching shows.
I feel you.
Yeah.
So, hi, Aiden. Thank you for joining us. So I'm gonna start with the first question because I do feel that sometimes we as adults, as we get older, we forget what it's like to be a kid. So what do you feel now is the hardest part about being a teenager nowadays?
The hardest part about being a teenager, I think it's like expectations. Like everybody expects me to be able to do this and that, but I feel like the world changed a lot and over a decade into to become more than it is. Like now, people probably expect me to already have a job and that. Nah, it's not gonna be like that all the time now. And like I should already have my permit. Like no, I don't. It's not a rush no more. Yeah.
So you like to take things really for you. It's taking things easy and not being in a rush to head into adulthood.
Right.
And what about you, Aiden? What do you feel is the thing that's the hardest about? Oh, we lost him. Oh gosh, I think we're gonna have some problems with Aiden staying on screen. So we'll ask him when he gets back. So then what do you, when it comes to when things get hard, when things get difficult in life, who do you turn to?
Yeah. Google. Always looking at Google.
You're always looking at Google for your answers.
Oh yeah. See something wild, I gotta just go Google it. That's what my mom told me to do. Just like stuck in my head.
So that's interesting. So I have to ask, are there any adults that you turn to answer?
Like push comes to shove, like maybe stocks and all that. Like maybe YouTube too hard, but like for investment, like futuristic purposes, yeah. Like I ask, like what college is better, or like things like that to help further my cause.
So, for instance, if there was a situation of difficulties at school, if you were being bullied or just any kind of question. Oh yeah, yeah. But if there was something that it was more of an emotional drive that
Oh
you had
yeah.
to turn to,
No,
do you?
I have some friends in Atlanta. Like I mean, yeah, but like I always call them every day. You know, we always check in with each other. You know, always talking. Like I was just on the phone now. Then I had to get on here real quick.
Mhm. So you mentioned you don't get bullied. So
Yeah,
I mean, do you see that? I mean, when I went to school, that was an everyday thing.
yeah.
How what is it like in your school?
I think bullying now, like there's probably a lot more cyberbullying than is at school. That's for one, and then two is like I think people get along more because like if you don't like them, you just don't talk to them. As simple as that, and you just keep moving.
Man, that's a lesson that I'm glad to hear. That's a lesson learned early. Most
Yeah,
kids back in the days, it seemed like, yeah, you could probably walk away and leave them alone. But even if it's a friend that's somebody you can't be dealing with,
nah.
it's
I'm a
hard to
six
walk
foot
away.
two black kid in New Mexico. Ain't no one picking on me.
So I know you brought up, and this is one side that Aiden won't be able to answer. You know, you brought up you're coming from Atlanta.
Yeah.
You're a 6'2" black kid coming to New Mexico. Uh, what do you feel is gonna? I mean, it is a culture shock. I'm sorry. Yeah, there's like maybe
Yeah.
anytime you're at one place, there's probably like three black people if you're lucky. It almost feels like the world's going to implode if there's more than one of that. Have you found it difficult to be a black male here in the state?
I mean, it's a lot different. Like a kid tried to dab me up with his left hand. I was like, "You trying to be disrespectful or something?" I was like, "I'm not finna dab you up with your left hand." And then he started complaining. I just walk out. I mean, besides that though, yeah, like it's a lot of different stuff though.
Man, because I can only imagine it would seem easier in Atlanta. It's man, I really got to go to Atlanta one of these days. It just seems like I would find myself being like, wow, I just turned and there's a black person. It's like one of the greatest moments ever. So that would be great to experience.
Oh
So
yeah,
you had to deal with doing school during a pandemic.
oh yeah. But all right,
Yeah,
let me
yeah.
break you down into this.
Okay.
So in Atlanta, COVID not real. So I was still going to. It was
What?
the same thing. I mean, for eighth grade, like when it first, like the breakout first happened though, they did take us online, but grades didn't count nothing. So it was like kids weren't doing anything. So when we went to freshman year, like it was just regular school. We went, got lunch. I mean, there's few adjustments. But it was like the same thing.
Wow. So I mean, was there a lot of when you went back? Was it? I mean, were they hard on masks? Were they really driving that
Nah,
home? Like none of that.
yeah, like at first it was like a universal rule we should wear masks, but after that it was like no one wore masks. Didn't have to wear masks at the store. You don't have to wear it at school. Like I mean that was the logic going into the school.
Interesting. My daughter attends Sandia, and my youngest is at Grant Middle School. And
Oh
every day I am getting notifications of another
yeah,
COVID case. So I mean, I find that interesting that they, and there didn't seem to be any problems when you were dealing with it.
uh, I mean yeah,
Interesting.
we had cases. Like I'm like our school probably shut down for like maybe a week on like maybe in like August.
Mm-hmm.
But like we would shut down, we come back in, we just keep working. Like it was the same thing. Sports was the same, but like when someone had COVID, it would really like start up. They would take care of it. Like they did close contact protocol, all that.
So they took care of business, that when anything happened at the school. It wasn't just like a free for all. They still were, doing what they needed to do to clean up the area and take care of any cases that did come up.
Yeah.
So that's not bad. So just to let you know, Linda says, hey, and we got BJ said, what type of activities do you participate in New Mexico that you didn't do in Atlanta?
Like nothing different. I mean, I went to a football game. Maybe the first game that came out, I was like, yeah, I gotta go to one. Yeah.
It's just like, were you excited to be attending it? Did you think to yourself,
I mean, it
I
was
guess?
cool. I didn't think it was much different than what I thought it would be. But like, you saw a lot more people from the school
Mm-hmm.
that went. Yeah.
I figured it. there seems to be. I mean, many would think a lot of kids. I will hear sometimes. There's nothing to do here. There's nothing to do here. So is there a lot more activities that you would see in Atlanta that you've seen here?
Oh yeah.
So what do you do in Atlanta that definitely, you know, takes up the time of enjoyment when you're there that might not be here?
I mean, I didn't really go out much when I was in Atlanta. I'm basketball. I was always doing some type of sport.
Do you do it because you love it, or it's just something to do?
I love it.
Do you play? Do you look at it being a possible career?
Nah, not good enough.
Not good enough.
Nah.
All right. Yeah. Is basketball the only thing you're down with, or is there other things that you like to play?
I mean, he want me to play soccer. I feel like I'm not good at it, and it's starting to not be as fun anymore.
I was like, is
But
that? I'm sorry. Did I hear he? Is that your pops that wants you to play soccer?
yeah,
I would never think Steph would think soccer is the thing to do. Running and kicking. That doesn't. Okay. That's one way to go. So you're an outgoing kid. You really are. Is friends easy to come by for you?
oh yeah. Anyway, I just type someone. Got
So
to. I
coming.
can't do it. I can't do it by myself.
That's a good way to look at it. So coming to Albuquerque, you've been able to. I mean, obviously you've been here before, so I'm
Yeah.
probably have a group of kids that you already know and
Oh
been
yeah.
friends with for a while.
Yeah.
Let's see. And BJ said, "Yeah, it's good as soccer." So it's one of those that you seem to like basketball more than soccer.
Oh yeah.
Maybe just continue the running and the kicking. It might grow. You can
Nah.
say it. Okay. And say asking what other sports you've done. So yes, we have basketball, soccer, any
Wrestling.
wrestling.
Wrestling and boxing.
See, I figured it seems like a thing to me when it comes to wrestling. You're a tall guy. You're a very tall guy. I mean,
Yeah.
is it easier? Because it seems like the
No.
guys I always knew that were wrestling were at a particular height.
Oh
So
yeah.
I mean,
Like
is it
small and
easier?
stocky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Nah, it was not any easier.
So not any easier. How are you? How are you at wrestling when it comes
uh,
down to it?
I was decent. I didn't win much.
You was decent. All right. Yeah, it's definitely sound people like basketball's his thing. I never want to assume that it is because you are a tall black kid, but basketball is his thing. So, what would you say is? I mean, would you find yourself to be misunderstood as a teenager when it comes to dealing with adults? They just
um,
kind of assume that they
I
know
think
who you are.
I think my problem is I just don't talk as much when it comes to adults. So it's not the fact that I'm being misunderstood, but I'm not speaking up. I'm not self advocating for myself as much as I should have growing up. Or
Are you trying to do that more as you're getting older?
oh yeah.
Well, that's good. So, why do you feel when you were younger that you weren't advocating for yourself more?
I think it's not that I didn't want to. I just felt like I already knew what they were. Well, I wanted to assume what they were gonna say, so I never asked. Like if I knew they were gonna say no or thought they would, I'd be like, well, I'm not gonna do that then.
My my daughter seemed to be one of those that, yeah, she would lie before she would ask because she was
Yeah,
just like, I'll just do it and then deal with it later. Did you find yourself just getting into situations that
nah,
you were
that was
like,
me. That was very much me.
I know that your mom and your dad live in separate states.
Oh yeah.
How was that dealing up? Growing up, how was that? How did you deal with it?
I mean, like I just started adjusting. I mean, I called dad. Like I knew I could have called him, so it wasn't much. It wasn't as bad as it might seem out to be. But no, like I mean, he was there. I knew I could
Hmm.
call him anytime he answered, he could talk. So I mean, it wasn't as big of a shock as I must have took it. Like when I was younger and he was deployed, then it was different because I felt like I
Hmm.
needed him. But now getting more independent as I get older. I ain't worried about it as much.
Do you find yourself, yeah, like you have your own time, you do your own thing. Do you ever have those moments that you're like, you know what, I want to sit down and hang with my dad?
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. I'm glad to hear that more, that you would like to do that. I think a lot of kids get into their independence and they're like, I want to just deal with that. And if I happen to see my parent, I see my parent, and that's all it
Right.
is. No, I'm like, this is interesting because I didn't expect to have one guest this evening. So I'm glad I'm glad you're letting me pick your brain. I'm trying to think of what else we could bring up. Please, folks, if you're watching, one, say hey, and if there's a question you have for Zay, start picking the brain of a teenager, because us adults, we get too into our ways and we forget we used to be young once. So, oh look, so BJ mentioned that you are a natural at tennis.
Nah, I'm just a prodigy at all sports. I play pickleball, badminton. I do it all.
Wait a minute, wait a
Volleyball.
minute. What did you just say? Pickleball?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's it's tennis, but it's with a wiffle ball and in a ping pong paddle, but it's on like it's on a smaller tennis court.
Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, I just like sports was not a thing. I realized I was going to be more in the arts field. Every time I went to a sports event, it was given I was going to get hit with whatever ball I was at for that particular event. That's how I handle sports. My goodness, yeah, you seem to just like do everything and just so laid back about, yeah, I do that too. Yeah, all right. I mean, that's cool. So how about the food? Yeah,
Like
that is a good question. What do you like to eat? What do you down to eat?
I eat everything.
Of course you do. You're a teenager.
I'm a I'm a human dumpster. I eat pretty much everything.
You eat much everything. How? I mean, a lot of chili here. That's a big draw. Are you a chili
Yeah.
fan? Do you get the Christmas? Are you just red or green? Red or green, not both.
I like green. I'm a green person.
So, I mean, what would you say is your favorite restaurant that you like to chill at?
Restaurant, I gotta say Dion's. Put some green chili on the
Mm.
pepperoni. Yeah.
Yep, that's some good pizza. Haven't found a place that beats that yet. So we also have, what are some things you feel are dumb rules parents put into place?
Gotta make that bed. I'm like, it's gonna get dirty anyways.
Now, honestly, how often do you clean your room? How often do you keep your room clean?
Once a week.
Once a week. Is it like a tornado ran through it the whole week until you clean it?
Nah.
Oh,
like
so
I think like by Thursday. Nah, it's not. No, I think when I get lazy and before I put the clothes up, but like when our clothes are up and I got a dirty clothes basket, it's pretty much clean most of the week.
Okay, so what are your rules in the house?
The rules in the house, as long as my room is clean and my restroom is clean and I got good grades, you do whatever. Feel free.
So let's talk about the grades. How you doing?
Look, I checked my grades too. My lowest grade was an 80, but everything else is A's.
Nice. Yeah, he won't bother you then. You're doing good. You're doing good. Do you find yourself when you're in school? I mean, do you feel like you're learning something every day, or is it a situation of just the same old, same old?
It's the same old same. I'll be like, man, when is this class gonna end? Like, I mean, because I feel like the classes they're not shorter, but like the teachers' lesson plans are shorter now because they expect to get on COVID. So they got everything online. So they just like do the work and then, do whatever.
If it came down to you, what would you like to see taught in school as you're becoming you're 15 now, so you're 3 years away from legally being an adult. What are some things you would like to learn in school to prepare yourself?
I would like to learn. I think they need to teach us how to do bills. Like, I think that's one thing. Because especially now, like everybody, you see a lot of people on the streets now just chilling because they don't got no house, home. Then we need to learn how to pay bills, invest, save money. get a job. I don't think all schools do that out here.
They don't. They don't. That's not Albuquerque. New Mexico's weird about. I mean, well, I could get into that, but yeah, when it comes down to curriculum, it's more about testing than it is about
Yeah.
educating. So let's see. We got another one from BJ. Since you're new to school, are of course are girls eyeing and speaking to you?
Well, I'm blind. I lost my glasses, so I couldn't tell you nothing. I can't see. I can't look around and be like, oh, nah, I can't see that.
I, I didn't expect that response. See, you gotta get them glasses fixed so you can
Oh
start
yeah.
seeing again. Where is George says, don't let your head get too big for the screen. Oh well, I think I know who this is. Not what, not whatever is what your dad said. And he said whatever. Oh goodness. So yeah, oh gosh, I hate. I'm like, there's some things I don't even pry into. At least try to with my own kids. But since we're doing this, and they brought up girls, is that even like a focus with you
Oh
right
yeah.
now at 15?
Most definitely. I'm a boy.
Yeah, you're
To
a
respect.
boy. So have you been dating, or is it really you blind, so you have no idea who's out there?
Nah, I haven't dated yet. Nah.
Stay on your studies. Because you have time for that. I'm just saying. Oh, good. Oh, wait, we got another one. We got another one coming down. Mess around and talk to a girl you're not attracted to because you can't see them. That's a good way to get to know a girl. Get them real close and be like,
But they
hey.
be mass fishing. That's all it is.
Oh, goodness. So I got another one. What are some of your goals for the rest of the 2 years in school?
To
That's a
get
good
my
question.
associate's degree.
That's good. Where do you see yourself going to college? Or do you see yourself going to
For now,
college?
well, hopefully the plan is do community college this summer and then go to the military and then whatever. It's going to be free. So, whatever.
That's gonna drive you dead. Just say whatever again. So you got it broken down with your friends. Do you see them kind of questioning what they want to do? Do they feel like they already know, or is it just kind of floating out there? They're still trying to decide what they're going to do with their future. Do you ever have those talks?
Nah.
Just keep everything close to the chest. Oh, you would like to say, haven't dated yet. Good answer. And we also have, you can't see their full face or smell their breath. Sounds like a win-win. My goodness, Steph. I mean, really. So this is also a good one. What do you want to do as your career?
Right now, I want to be a psychologist for vets.
Interesting. I have to say, you know pretty much what you want to do. I which is refreshing. Having a conversation with my daughter, she feels both my son, who's actually 19, and my daughter feel like they're supposed to have all the answers right now.
Yeah.
And I'd be one to tell you, like, you don't have to, but it's nice that you've been thinking about it. That's the best you can do, but you already seem to know what you want to do. So that's great. So BJ asks, why for vets?
Because my dad is one.
Is there an encouragement there, or did you just see that he served his country, you want to do the same?
Nah, just I don't think we get as much help with veterinarians than we do with just regular people, civilians on the street every day. I don't think that's why I want to go to the military first, not just also because it's free, but I also get experience on why people act like this.
Mm. Wow. I have to say, I give it up to anybody that thinks seriously about a career in the military. Not a lot of people would jump right at it. It's a
Yeah.
it's a scary thought. Going into it. So I mean, I applaud you that you are considering it. I
I'm
applaud
be
you
an
for
air
that.
force. I'm be a mechanic though. We need to get that there straight because I'm
No,
not being afraid.
you'll be
Nah.
working. You know what? That's the one thing that I would like to see more in schools too is bringing that back. Because honestly, it seems like you even with mechanics, you can't learn that until you get
Yeah.
out of high school, get into college, or go into actual trade schools that teach it, or the military.
Yeah.
So I'm glad to hear you want to be a mechanic. We definitely need more of them. We definitely need more of them. Oh goodness, what else can I pick your brain about? And thank you everybody for sharing your questions. I'm really liking these questions. What is the one thing that you realize now as a teenager that seemed to be like you were a little kid and you thought to yourself, when I'm 15, it's going to be like this? What was that one thought that you now realize that ain't nothing like what I thought?
Thought I was gonna have a car, driving around.
It just appear pop. You hit 15. Okay, here's the car.
Yeah.
Did you find yourself when you were little that you were in such a rush to become a teenager, or did you just really enjoy
Um,
being a kid?
I think I did find myself more in a rush than I am now.
Why do you think that is?
Hey, like bills actually are a thing.
It's like bills aren't fun. I'm just letting you know now. Not fun at all. Nothing to look forward to. So we have another one.
Yeah.
Where is somewhere you like to live after graduating?
Can you repeat that?
Oh, where is somewhere that you would like to live? That you like to live after graduating?
I don't know. I've been thinking about moving back to Atlanta after graduation. I don't know yet.
Being that you would be going in the military, at least I would, I want to assume travel would at least be a good thing there. Do you want to? Do you want to do a lot of traveling as you get older?
Um, Not really, but like maybe through the like in the country, but I don't really. I'm just scared of water and hearing about these little airplanes going down and all that. I don't want to be stuck overseas.
I feel you. I was like that, and then, of course, it's funny being that I was born in St. Thomas. I was born in the Virgin Islands, a whole
Yeah,
island surrounded by water. So yeah, I feel you on the water thing. But I'm telling you, if you get near those oceans, they are so pretty you can't help but go in.
oh
You'll
yeah,
get over that whole water thing real quick. But I feel you. I think that was probably one of the reasons when I was younger that I was like, I don't need to fly. I don't need to see all that. Staying on the ground in one place. That's great.
yeah.
That's what I need. And BJ asks, does he want to be a psych doctor while in the military?
No, I'm probably gonna um not discharge, but get out, retire from the military, and then go back to college because it'd be free, and then get like a separate thing, like work at a separate convention for just vets.
So what do you think? What do you think adulthood is going to be like? Now, you thought to yourself when you were a little kid what you would imagine at 15.
Yeah,
What do you imagine 25 is going to be like?
I'm be working. Hopefully, have like 2 kids. Now I'm playing. Nah, wait. Like be at least be able to sustain to be like at least maybe once a month. Be like I don't feel like going to work that day. At least be able to be financially stable. To at least take one day off or something.
Do you look at being your own business owner or working for someone?
I think I want to work for the country, but if not, then work for someone.
I can see you being a strong owner, starting your own business. I can see that. I can see that you're very much my cousin. who has a shop here in Albuquerque,
Yeah.
down in Nop Hill. Yeah, you got that energy of you. Like I feel like, yeah, just something to think about. Build when it comes to building your own wealth. That's one way to do it.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, he said 2 kids. Yes, he did. And I mentioned the age 25. So I'm like, he's thinking ahead of what he wants to do. What do you go to your parents for? What do you talk about with your parents? What are you at least open about when it comes to them?
I talk about it. Well, at least with my mom, I used to talk to her, but because she was far away, so I was like, you can't really affect what's going on anyways.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I tell her everything,
Everything.
everything.
And what about your dad?
I mean, I don't really talk to him all that much.
Oh wait, let's see. He said something else now. He has helped with his mom with her business, and he's willing to stop. See, that's what I'm talking about. You could totally have your own business. You could totally have your own business. You already stuck your finger in the well. You just have to keep going. He's knowledgeable in stocks. He mentioned stocks earlier. You did mention stocks earlier.
Nah, I ain't
How
knowledgeable.
are you just kind of fiddling around figuring things?
Yeah, like before I hopped on, I was talking to one of my friends. He was like, I invested in crypto. I was like, you need to do research. We
Do
just we
you
just talk about stuff.
do you understand what crypto is yet?
Nah.
No, see, okay, feel better. My brother does that, and he's gonna teach me. Apparently, it's gonna happen. But yeah, don't have no idea. I just know it's internet money.
Yeah.
Don't know how you get the internet money after you get it, but apparently that's the next big thing, and it has been for like 10 years. So we'll see how that goes. And so we have her, yeah. Oh, and we just lost him. I'm on my own. Yeah, everything sometimes is like, wow, I didn't know if I should know that. And this is why we did this show. Um, Affinity stuff. Um, my daughter knows that I do the show, and the family stuff is going to come up. And I mean, I for one didn't know a lot about my daughter until she hit 13, and by that time, that girl has lived a life, um, more of a life than I ever did at 13. Like that people at 20 did. It's frightening. And he's back.
I don't know what happened. Yeah.
Is that
I
who
know. I
I
had to
think
turn
it
on the.
is?
I had to turn on the light. Switch. Yeah.
Hey, Steph.
Say. You say what's up?
So he needs to read the script for Thursday. So I know I'm guessing when you talk about that you haven't really talked with your dad, it was because he was deployed. He was in the military.
Yeah.
Do you at least, are you opening up more now? Are you guys communicating now that you're here in Albuquerque? That's good. I like to hear that. I thank you for the show. It's been great hearing Isaiah unfiltered and open. Honestly, I'm surprised that you've been so open. I really thought when we did this idea, well, I was going to be on camera and it was just going to be a lot of.
Nah.
So there's, so I think it's great that you're open. Why? I mean, like I said, my daughter held a lot of things back. She's a lot more open now. She's a lot more open about stuff. Why is it that you feel that's the thing with teenagers? That you got to have this closed off mentality that you just don't open up and just feel the need to share with your parents?
Cause it's weird talking to old heads sometimes.
Even though it's a possibility that we have been through it, you still have that feeling of,
That's
no,
why it's
you don't know.
weird. Cause they know. They're like, yeah, I already know what you did. It's like, uh-huh.
Okay, so let's think of how, like there's some topics I guess I would see that would be difficult to have a conversation with your parents with, especially if you don't know their history. I mean, have your parents been open about what they've done when they were teenagers?
Yeah.
I was like, I totally right now could be like, why don't you share some example? No, I won't do that. I really was just like, what? Like what? Like what happened? Okay, so well, yeah, like I said, I think it's great that like now you're opening up more and talking than you have before. Is it easier to have a voice at age, at age 15 than it was at 11?
Yeah.
Do you feel that you're listened to?
Yeah, I feel like I'm more listened to, so I can be more vocal.
Good. Let's see. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm looking at all these comments, so I'm gonna bring them up. Linda says, "What really makes you angry and why?" Good question, Linda.
What makes me angry? I don't think I really get as angry as much, but I do get annoyed and like it starts to build up. I don't think I could ever really get angry.
You've never been angry.
Nah, at least I can't remember a time. I feel like I'm annoyed and I'm petty, so it's like I might act like I'm mad or something. But I don't think I can
So
really get mad.
how do you usually handle your emotions? Like if it comes down to what you think might be angry, you mentioned petty. So what
Yeah,
do you usually do something?
like I mean, sometimes I'll be talking and they be like, "Huh," and I'll be like, "Never mind," or I'll be like, "Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember what I said."
Okay, I get what you mean. Whereas George asked, well, he said, yeah, your dad is right. Great show and insight. Thank you. I like Where's George. Just simple and to the point. Yeah, Linda says old heads. BJ says old. And I think this is one of the reasons that, yeah, we don't get to talk to our kids a whole lot. Yes, us old heads make the game plan of the things you are doing now. Do you ever feel that sometimes as a teenager although I just don't see it with you, but have you ever felt that there's times that you're pushed into a direction that you don't want to go?
Like, what you mean?
Like whether it's like the sports thing
Oh,
or any activities you take part of that you're like, I'm not feeling this, or just it could be the littlest thing to a big thing for you. Do you feel you ever get pushed in a direction that isn't one you want to be pushed in?
nah.
So it's pretty much when it comes to decisions, it's a real open market for you. You're not feeling like, oh, I feel obligated that I have to do this.
Oh yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. He said, so I'm going back to the comments because so yeah, we can skip the examples of what his mother has shared. We'll do that. We'll do that. VJ's petty. And yeah, yes, he can be very petty. The first step is admitting it. Oh, that is his mom. Both your parents are on right now.
Oh,
What's your mom's name?
Shay.
Hi, Shay. Thank you for letting me pick your son's brain. You and Steph have raised a very smart, intelligent, overall. Like I'm liking you. You're gonna be doing things in your future. I feel it. So I almost feel like asking your parents, what was the one thing that drove you nuts with him when he was a kid? Watch, they're going to say something. They're going to say it. Let's see. Yeah, guys, I want to hear from you guys. What was the one thing that drove you nuts when he was a kid? Because I know you got something. Oh, goodness. But yeah, and your mom said, hi, thank you for picking. And yeah, I think they're getting a lot of insight tonight into your thought processes of what you want to do. Let's see. Where's George is his bonus dad. It's a family affair. Well, hello, George. Bonus dad. That was bonus dad. That's nice. Let's see. And your dad said he was and still is a smart ass like both of us. Well, it's nice. It's nice when you can admit that. Well, I mean, honestly, you're always gonna be like that blend of both parents.
Yeah.
Okay, so what is the one thing that drives you nuts about what your parents do?
Can't think of it right now.
And yeah, you've been open, so don't stop now.
Nah, look, I can't think of that. Hold up. Nah, cause like I don't know. Like I can't. Mom used to drive me crazy, but I can't think of nothing no more because I don't see it that much.
So now your dad will drive you crazy.
Nah, because I don't see him that much.
This boy is real independent. Okay, let's see what your mom says. He would go to the cabinet before being fully potty trained and poop in his. Damn! She went back. She went back. She said, "Oh wait, we're not going that far back." I was, yeah, but thank you for the insight. Thank you for the insight. Oh, both your parents are funny. Both your parents are funny.
Don't give them too much credit.
I thought they were gonna have a big head too. Your mom says, now that you said that, he can't think of it. Yeah, can't think of anything. I just didn't expect that response. I was like, okay, that went far back. That went far back. So if you had to tell your younger self what to expect so far, even being 15, because yeah, you just 3 years away. You're 3 years away. What would you tell your younger self to be prepared for? Now knowing what you know so far.
But I was telling him you need to start doing sit-ups now because I need that 6-pack.
Spoken like a true sportsman. Spoken like a true sportsman. Oh, goodness. Okay, BJ says she would ask a lot of questions that would drive him crazy, but it got him thinking. So there was that. And it say, Zay is a comedian. Ask him to tell a joke.
Nah, you can't ask a comedian. You can't ask a comedian to tell a joke. Because it's not going to be funny.
He said, he's so vain. Oh, well, it looks like you got some good people that got your back. So, yeah. You're gonna do well. I can feel it. Jose, thank you for coming on and let me just pick, and they picked. And it's not easy for a kid to open up knowing that his parents are watching this live and hearing everything. So.
And I didn't know Mom was watching it. So Eugene texted me, he was like, I see you. Finally in that bed. I was like,
y'all was just like, your bed looks nice. That must have been the day. Today must have been the day.
Yeah, don't worry. I don't got blankets because the dog pooped on them. So I be sleeping in here cold.
He let it be known. He let it be known about everything.
I sleep in here cold every day.
I say, Nana loves you. You did great. Oh my God, the whole family's on here. That's awesome. Okay, so do you want to leave some words of wisdom with our viewers before we head out?
Nah, I can't say no wisdom that's better for y'all is what y'all guys say.
What can us as adults do? What could we do better?
I need to have patience.
Okay, I have to say, you got me on that one. You are absolutely right. Okay, I'm going to get these last comments before we head out. Dom watching, have it streaming on the TV. Hashtag.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yep. That was his fault. Oh, my goodness. And Linda says this was a great interview. And it was. Thank you. You baby, laughed tonight. Duly noted from VJ. So, everyone, thank you. Thank you for tuning in this evening. and listening to the thoughts and words of Mr. Zay, who I will say again that his parents have raised a very good kid. I think he's going to do some great things. If you could be this articulate now at 15, I can only imagine what you're going to be at 25. Thank you for joining me on the show today.
All right.
And to everyone else, we'll see you next week for our Talk Back Live. We'll recap everything we've done this month. And of course, Royce will be back as well. So we'll see you next Monday. Good night.